The Battlefield 6 open beta is underway, and with it, Battlefield begins the approach to its next major launch, as the game seeks to bring the series back home to a modern setting with class-based play. Already, just in the early access launch of the beta, fans have proven that they are incredibly excited for the prospect of this experience, but what does this beta show us about the full launch of Battlefield 6? What is great about the game in its current state? What could use some fixing? And finally, are fans excited? Today, on Game Rant, let's break all three of those questions down. The Battlefield 6 open beta is great. There has been so much talk about all of the things that make it so. Its combat is incredibly punchy and tight, some of the best I've ever experienced in a first-person shooter with impactful sound, quick time to kill, and great visual feedback. Its classes feel distinct and important, with Assault leading the combat, medics coming in to save the day, and snipers controlling large swaths of area. Its destruction and visual design create an immersive feel, grounding you in each firefight as you duck for cover and run through smoke. But with all of that, which is so important, for me the thing that made this beta stand head and shoulders above the rest were its small details. The drag and revive system is nothing entirely new in video games, but the way it's implemented here is superb. All you have to do is hold down X to revive teammates, and while doing so you can just use the analog stick to pull them into cover mid-revive. It's seamless and intentional, and it keeps you from fumbling with controls and getting shot. Another small detail that I loved was minor auditory design. You can hear bullet shells hitting the ground as you fire your gun, mortar shells pinging off of walls, and the echo of gunfire bouncing through street corridors. It's all the small details of Battlefield 6 that make it truly exceptional, details which felt absent in the lifeless corpse of Battlefield 2042. Here, the game comes alive with each of them, and it proves just how meticulous the design of the game has been. But there are plenty of things to love about this beta, from the option to choose between class-locked and unlocked weapons to the gunsmith system reminiscent of Call of Duty but not derivative. This beta is excellent, and it's a free way to try out the game before its full launch on October 10th. Now let's look at some areas in which the game could improve, mostly after launch. I think the main points of criticism for Battlefield 6 right now mainly stem from its map design. The maps we have are great. They all offer semi-close quarter combat, allowing for fast frenetic action intermixed with some opportunities for ranged fights. The problem doesn't lie in the maps themselves, but rather the fact that all 4 of the beta weekend maps are tiny, and if we look through the list of full launch maps, it seems as if only Operation Firestorm and Mirak Valley will be much bigger, with all the other maps being listed as infantry maps or close quarter maps. While they might play great, we're lacking that iconic Battlefield variety, the balance of playing Operation Metro one game with all of its chaos, and then hopping into a giant sprawling map dominated by vehicles and snipers. For many people this isn't a complaint, but for the hardened Battlefield base, it feels like it detracts from the series' identity. Another issue with this is that it heavily diminishes vehicle opportunities. Because of the close quarter nature of a lot of these maps, tanks felt easily avoidable, losing the overwhelming presence that they have in so many Battlefield games. But even worse, planes and helicopters, at least in the beta, have no presence at all. Liberation Peak was the big map in the beta, and I hardly ever noticed them. Regardless, I still think the maps we have are a ton of fun to play. Combat is frenetic, and street shootouts feel incredibly fun. Liberation Peak and Siege of Cairo in particular feel like they're going to be fan favorites, as they have an excellent flow to them. But I do hope that over time, and with updates, we'll see more larger scale experiences added to the game. But all of these criticisms are especially minor when set against the backdrop of just how successful this beta is. On the first day of the Battlefield 6 open beta, the game hit 334,549 active players. This is a currently closed early access period of the beta. We can only imagine how astronomically large this number might be on the 9th or 10th and over the next weekend. Not only that, but on Wednesday, August 6th, before the beta even launched, there were 24,879 players sitting in queue waiting for it to go live, getting their controller settings ready and listening to the game's music. The question of Battlefield 6's success has almost been entirely answered. The trailers, the gameplay by content creators, and the quality of the beta have all brought in a massive amount of players. The AAA FPS genre has been sitting dormant, devoid of a great game ever since the launch of Battlefield 1, and there is a massive audience excited to hop back into a return to form for the iconic series. If servers can withstand, the launch of Battlefield 6 is sure to be one of the biggest of the year. This Battlefield 6 open beta points to great things ahead for the game's launch. Its combat is some of the most kinetic and entertaining the series has ever seen, its soundscape is dense and immersive, and its modern setting is the classic Battlefield experience that we've all been missing. Its maps, while needing some pace variety, are still excellent, each with their own visual identity. Battlefield 6 seems to be on the right track as developers continue to listen to the players. I'm excited for the full launch of the game, and I hope you are too. Thanks for watching.